Today we're going to tell the story of a poor carpenter who built a toy that would one day change the world forever. Before Lego became the world's favorite toy, it all started with a poor carpenter in rural Denmark. Born in 1891, Ole Kirk Christiansen was one of 13 children. By the age of 6, he was working as a farmhand, and school was a luxury he could barely afford. Childhood was short. Life was harsh. But in the quiet moments, Ole did something extraordinary. He carved wood. Tiny, precise, careful shapes. He didn't know it yet, but each piece was teaching him a lesson far bigger than himself. He was learning how to build, not just toys, but a legacy that would change the world. Learning the discipline of craft. At 14 years old, in 1905, Ole became an apprentice carpenter under his older brother. Later, he served in the military and studied at Haslev Technical School, where he learned structure, accuracy, and discipline. After his studies, he traveled across Germany and Norway, working as a carpenter wherever he could. These years were not glamorous, but they taught him what most people never master: respect for quality. By 1916, Ole returned to Denmark. In the small town of Billund, he bought a carpentry shop with his savings. He began building household goods for the local community. He was finally building something of his own. Success, then fire. The business slowly grew. Ole restored buildings, made furniture, and supported his family. Then, in 1924, disaster struck. An accident involving his young sons caused a fire that burned down the workshop and the family home. Years of work vanished in hours. Most people would have downsized. Ole did the opposite. He rebuilt bigger. He hired an architect, expanded the workshop, and placed 2 stone lions at the entrance of his home, symbols of strength and refusal to quit. But the hardest test was still coming. When the world collapsed, in the early 1930s, the Great Depression hit Denmark. Farmers could no longer afford furniture. Orders disappeared. By 1932, Ole had laid off nearly all his workers. Bankruptcy was closing in. To survive, he began making small wooden items, ladders, ironing boards, and toys. Simple toys, cheap toys, wooden toys. Relatives offered him financial help on one condition: stop making toys. Ole refused. That same year, 1932, he officially founded his company. 2 years later, in 1934, he gave it a name, Lego, from the Danish leg got, meaning play well, and he set a rule that would define everything. Only the best is good enough, even when no one was buying. Poverty, war, and another fire. Ole crafted toys with obsessive care. Birchwood was dried for years, sanded, painted, and varnished by hand. Sometimes, toys were exchanged for food instead of money. During World War II, Denmark was occupied. Materials were scarce. Then, in 1942, disaster struck again. A short circuit caused a fire. The factory burned. Inventory burned. Blueprints burned. Everything again was gone. Ole rebuilt again, not for profit, not for ambition, but because he felt responsible for his workers. By 1944, the new factory included an assembly line. Lego was quietly becoming something more, the risk that changed everything. After the war, materials were scarce. Wood was unreliable. In 1947, Ole made the most dangerous decision of his life. He bought a plastic injection molding machine, costing more than twice the company's annual profit. People laughed. Plastic toys were considered junk. Ole had spent his life working with wood. But he believed the future mattered more than comfort. By 1949, Lego introduced the automatic binding brick. Sales were slow. Many thought it was a failure. But Ole's son, Gottfred, saw something different. Not a toy, a system. On January 28, 1958, the modern Lego brick was patented. Weeks later, on March 11, 1958, Ole Kirk Christiansen died at 66 years old. He never saw Lego succeed. He never saw the empire. He never saw the world built from his idea. When the idea outlived the man, the brick becomes the future. After Ole's death, Gottfred took full control. In 1960, another fire destroyed Lego's wooden toy factory. This time, the decision was final. Lego abandoned wooden toys forever. By 1963, Lego perfected ABS plastic, ensuring bricks made decades apart would still connect. Ole's philosophy became engineering law, from building to storytelling. In 1969, Lego introduced Duplo for younger children. In 1978, Lego launched the minifigure and everything changed. Lego became cities, stories, worlds. Imagination made physical, a global language. By the 1990s and 2000s, Lego expanded into education, digital design, theme parks, films. Facts revealed the power of Ole's idea. 6 bricks can form 915 million combinations. Over 400 billion bricks produced. Bricks engineered with precision thinner than a human hair. From playroom to space. In 2011, Lego bricks went to the International Space Station. In 2015, Lego was ranked the world's most powerful brand. By the 2020s, Lego embraced adult builders, sustainability, carbon-neutral factories globally. Bricks from 1958 still connect today. The final truth. Ole Kirk Christiansen died believing he had failed. But failure was never the point. He didn't build success. He built principle. And that principle still builds the world, brick by brick. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Motivational Minute. Join us for more stories that empower, motivate, and spark your greatness. And remember, even the smallest bricks can build a legacy that lasts forever.